Hello guys, welcome to another Marvel Rivals video. If I'm being honest, I'm surprised I posted another video so soon. Considering the way I've been uploading videos for the past 11 years, I've been more inconsistent than deadbeat fathers. But I love making informative videos, so of course I had to spin back for another video. So in the spirit of learning, sit down, take out your notebook, and if you ended up learning something new, like the video. And subscribe if you want to learn more stuff about Marvel Rivals. And with all that said, let's get into it. Now that you're all seated, I want you to sit there and ask yourself, why do I never have my ult when I need it? Or, why is it that the enemy team is always ready to counter my ult? Now, there are two main reasons why you would typically ask these questions, and one of them is ult management, and the other is poor ult awareness. Now, to have good ult management, you should know what it takes to get your ult, because not all ultimates were created equal, and not only by just what they look like or what they do, but how much energy they cost to get said ultimate. Now, onto ult awareness. The key thing you need to have ult awareness is not only being aware of what it takes to get your ultimate, but being able to also know what it takes to get all 11 other players' ultimates. This way, countering other ultimates or working in conjunction with teammate ultimates becomes easier. So even if you or your teammate quote-unquote wasted an ultimate, you're really just burning through enemy resources. Being able to burn enemy resources in a heavily team-based game is way more crucial than you getting kills of your ultimate necessarily. Before I get ahead of myself with the complexities of ultimates, I just want to go over the basics first. I'm not going to go over how to get your ultimate for long, considering the game essentially teaches you how to do it, but I'm only going to go over it because I think it's fair, considering we're talking about ultimates. So, in Marvel Rivals, there are two ways to get your ultimate. One is by passively playing said character, and second is any interaction your character has with another character that affects their HP. This includes shooting an enemy, healing an ally, and healing yourself. This also includes all forms of healing, including Mantis's healing flower, Invisible Woman's guardian shield, both Adam Warlock's avatar lifestream and his soul bond, Rocket's repair mode, Dagger's light explosion and dagger storm, Jeff's healing bubble, and even Loki's domain. As long as they are healing someone or themselves, the gauge will go up. Now, despite what I said, there are exceptions to the rule. For example, while none of the shields in the game grant you bonus energy for your ultimate, only Hulk's Gamma Shield gives him energy for his ultimate, Hulk Smash, because like Magneto's, it's a conversion shield, but unlike Magneto's, which converts damage to his rings, Hulk's converts damage for energy for his ultimate. Another exception is Iron Fist, who doesn't gain his ultimate any faster using his Harmony Recovery move, making him the only character that can heal but can't do that. Also, characters who have Overshield when they do moves, even if they miss, like Thor and Bucky, do not gain their ultimate any faster, but Wolverine does when he uses his regenerative healing factor, because technically he doesn't gain any points towards his ult until after he actually gets his HP back, which the game considers healing. Also, Mr. Fantastic does get his ultimate faster when he uses flexible elongation on allies, because he's not only giving overshield to himself, he's giving overshield to his ally, which the game counts as an interaction with another player's HP. It's not as much as if he would do it to an enemy, but it's still something. Now that I've gone over the basics, I want to talk about timing. Timing is very important when using your ultimate, but I'm not specifically talking about when is the right time to use your ult, because I already made a video like that. If you want to check it out, it's on the screen. It's a quick and simple little video. But back to what I'm talking about, specifically talking about future ultimates and when exactly you and your enemies should be getting their ultimate. Now, if you look at the screen, this is a tier list of how much energy it costs to build up each character's ultimate. If you didn't understand why before a character like Moon Knight gets his ultimate every 4 freaking seconds, This is why, as he's grouped with characters who require the lowest energy cost to get their ultimate. Using this chart in relation to yourself, you'd have to be more conscious of when to use your ultimate, because considering how long it takes to get your ultimate, you might be screwing your team because you used your ult when you thought you needed it, but later on, when it's overtime and you need to move the convoy by a few meters, you can't because you don't have your ultimate and the other team just steamrolls you because they had better ult conservation than you. Using this chart in relation to your enemies, you'll have a better guess on who might and might not have their ultimate. You won't have to worry about getting counter ulted or making sure you keep your ultimate to counter theirs, because you all already know when they should have it, because you'll have a better guess on when they do have it, instead of just blindly hoping they have it or they don't have it. And just one more thing before I move on that I'd like to clarify. Just because certain characters have the same energy cost doesn't necessarily mean they get it as easily. For example, even though Penny Parker and Iron Fist have the same energy cost, Penny would usually get it faster than Iron Fist, because while Penny is targeting 1 to 4 different enemies at the same time, Iron Fist is usually targeting one person at a time, so he wouldn't really get it faster than Penny. And it's the same thing for Cloak and Dagger and Penny, because while Penny is targeting 1 to 4 different enemies, Cloak and Dagger have 12 different targets to choose from, including themselves, to build their ultimate, so they would get it faster and easier than Penny. Now, for the last piece of info I want to share with you that I highly implore that you use in your game consciously is ult farming. Now, I don't know if this is a coined term within the community, so hopefully I'm the first one to say it, but I'm probably not. But ult farming is essentially like XP farming, where you hunker down and do the same 1 or 2 things over and over again to achieve a desired goal, like XP farming. So in the case of ult farming, you're not worrying about kills, you're not worrying about pushing the objective, you're not worrying about holding a point, even though if you're on defense you kind of should, but you're not worrying about it as much. But your main focus is getting your ultimate. The best way I do this is to sacrifice aggression. However, I only say that because most characters in this game don't need to be close and personal, because they are shooter characters. But for those characters like Spider-Man, the best way I ult farm is the exact opposite, which is getting more aggressive, but not focusing on getting quick assassination kills like you typically would playing Spider-Man or Psylocke, for example. But for most characters, which are shooters, I'm a little more passive. For example, if I'm a DPS, I'm right next to my tanks, shooting the guy with the biggest hitbox, which is usually an enemy tank, not with the mindset of, oh, I'm gonna kill him, but the mindset of, oh, this guy is so free, I'm just gonna farm him and get my ult up. Killing them, if you kill them, it would be a bonus, but that's not the main goal. And if I'm a specialist, I completely stop DPSing. Like, I'm not trying to kill anyone. I don't care who it is. I'm just purely trying to heal, pocket heal my tanks, and that's it. I don't do anything else. With tanks, it's more difficult to ult farm because typically everyone is shooting at you anyway, so it's harder to commit and go purely for damage or play passive, because tanks really shouldn't be playing passive, and if you play too aggressive you'll just end up dying. So it's really a lose-lose situation for tanks. So yeah, being an overly passive vanguard is a path leading to destruction no matter what the goal is, and it's almost as bad as an overly aggressive strategist. But when I'm talking about duelists and strategists, in both scenarios, I'm hitting the easiest targets to get my ultimate faster and more consistently, so I can use my ultimate and turn the game around. So as you sit there in your next game and you wonder, how the hell does he have his ultimate again? I haven't seen this guy all game. I haven't seen this guy get any kills. They're most likely ult farming. In conclusion, basically, if I had to summarize this video, I'm basically saying, get your game sense up and stop throwing my games. But seriously, I know that there's a lot of stuff on the screen happening at the same time, and all you hear is
I am ready to put on a show. Disappear!
By the Execution!
it seems like a lot, but applying these things that you learned in this video, it might not seem as crazy. The best way I can describe it is, if you look at a ceiling fan, it might appear as fast at first at a glance, but if you really concentrate and look at it, you can see the individual blades spinning, and then you're like, huh, it's not really moving that fast. But anyway, we've reached the end of the video, and if you've reached the end of the video, I'd like to say I really do appreciate you. I love to make informative videos because for me and video games, you never have to be the dude who has the best aim or the fastest reaction time, but being the most knowledgeable in a match has always been the difference between winning and losing for me. Knowing the most techs, the most mechanics, the frame data, the damage output of moves, the ability counters, what's the most broken move, what's the move that sucks the most. I love finding out that information on my own, and I love sharing that information out with other people because, you know, at the end of the day, this is just a fucking stupid video game, but at least I don't want to mindlessly play it like a robot. So I love how I can make videos like this and we can all become smarter together. But yeah, that's enough confession time, and I'll see y'all in the next video. So yeah, peace.